In this video I'm going to cover the 4 different kinds of staining that your pool could have. You could have organic staining here, like this here, with this leaf that falls in here, with chlorine level low. You could have metal staining. You could also have calcium staining in your plaster from having a high calcium hardness in your water. The last thing that you could have in your plaster is mottling of the plaster itself. It looks like staining, but it's actually the plaster itself, and I'll go over that, and I'll give you a few examples of that in the video. Here is a simple organic stain. The leaf fell in the pool, the chlorine level is low, and that leaves a stain there. Simply by raising your chlorine level, we'll get rid of the organic stain. You can also rub a tablet over it to test the area, 3-inch trichlor tablet, and it should take it right off if it's organic. I'll leave it on there for a second, and you'll see that the stain will be gone pretty much. And one last thing to note, you may also have aggressive mustard algae. It looks like a stain, it looks almost like a metal stain, but it's actually aggressive yellow algae. And you can get that off. I have a video on that also. You can get that off with a trichlor tablet. You can see that the stain just disappeared when I rubbed the trichlor tablet on it. Here's another look at a stain. And I'm going to go ahead and use a vitamin C test on this one. I'll put the tablet on here. I'll let it set on here for a few minutes to see if the stain will lighten up or not. You can also rub the tablet also to test it. I'm rubbing it on the whole black stain right here. You can see that it came off. You can see the black stain right where the tablet was. You can see that it cleared up that black. And if you have a white plaster pool, you can do a couple other things to see if maybe an acid wash would remove the stains versus the ascorbic acid treatment. If you're a professional spray bottle, about 3 parts acid, 1 part water. And I'll show you a quick test you can do on the stain with that. You can also use the dry acid here. And you can also put it in a sock and drop it on the stain also. That's a good way to test if an acid wash will get rid of the stain. You want to put the nozzle right up against the wall and you want to spray it on the stain there. You can see the acid lifting it off. You can also put dry acid in the sock and hold it on the stain. Should have similar results if it's a copper stain. That means an acid wash will probably take the staining off. I recommend trying the ascorbic acid treatment before you do the acid wash, but this will give you a good indication if the stain can be removed in an acid wash or not. If you think your pool may have metal staining, you might want to get Jack's Magic Stain Identification Kit. The package comes with 3 products. Comes with the copper and scale stuff, iron cobalt spot etching, and the O2 safe shock. Here's a good look at a pool with some copper staining here. You can see kind of the brown, tan color, black. You can see it all along the edge here of this pool. So pretty much the entire pool has copper staining. You can see it all here on this side also. You can see also that someone tried some kind of stain removing product, either dry acid or one of the stain products, and they did it improperly. They just poured it right onto the surface. I'll back up here so you can see the bowl where a lot of the product piled up. You can see streaks in the plaster where the stain product actually hit the copper staining. And here's a white plaster pool with some calcium staining. You can see the spots here. They're just like almost like gray circles in the bottom of the pool, and that's actually calcium buildup with some dirt trapped in it. And here's one on the step area right here. You can actually see it really clear. I can put my finger over and it feels rough, and it's definitely a calcium deposit. With a sandpaper, this is actually a 150 sandpaper. You can use wet and dry. It works a little better in the water. Just kind of rub it on the calcium buildup. You should be able to take it right off. And you can see I rubbed that calcium stain right off there with the sandpaper. And here's a colored plaster pool with a lot of mottling here. And this started actually from day 1 when I first took over the pool. And again, this has a lot to do with the initial plaster mix they use in a pool. And so in most cases, if you have a colored plaster pool, you're going to have some mottling going on in your plaster. It actually stipulates that in the contract you sign that there'll be some discoloration. It won't be a uniform solid color. And here's another colored plaster pool I've been doing for about 7 years since the pool was built. It's a dark colored plaster. You can see there's absolutely no mottling at all going on in the plaster. It's all one uniform color. And I have several colored plaster pools on my route like this that have no mottling, and I have a lot that have a lot of mottling on them. So it's kind of hit and miss with the colored plaster pool. Here's the pool that had the zero alkalinity done about 3 years ago. And it actually came out really well. It had a lot of mottling like that first pool I showed you. You can see right here everything looks uniform in here. So it came out really good with the zero alkalinity. You can see it looks like one solid color still after 3 years.